Hello there, Vanagon addicts. It's Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. So I was showing you those two engines. The one engine I've got all cleaned up, and it's sitting here drying up here. Thankfully, I looked through my things that I have. I actually do have some oversized bearings for this. The only bad part is they will also require the crankshaft to get machined. So, worst case scenario, I'm gonna let this thing dry up, and then I'll start taking it apart maybe tomorrow. And if the crankshaft needs to be machined, I'm gonna have to find a place that does that. I've never had to have that done before, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky, quote unquote, and the crankshaft will already be machined. I don't know, but anyway, I'm hoping not, because I'd like to have a fresh cut on it if we're going to go into that. But I do have oversized, so because, like I said, this is a factory rebuild, you can tell by the sticker, then it's going to be a line board. I promise you. Okay. Now, let's go back to this other motor. So this motor here, it's also a 2.1. This had about 75,000 original miles on it. And the problem with this one is right here. Okay, so you see the head stud here, here. See that in there? That is broken off pretty much flush with the case. The old stud was sitting here somewhere. So what I've decided to do on this one, I've had this sitting here for 10 years, 15 years. Sadly, I mean, what we did at the time, we got another good used engine, I think, or a rebuilt engine, put it in for the customer because we were doing head gaskets on this motor. That was the only thing that it needed. It was low miles, but the problem you have sometimes with low miles is that means it sat a lot. And if it sits a lot without your antifreeze getting changed regularly, you can have corrosion on these studs here. And, what happened, we went to put the engine back together. I believe the other side, the head was already on, torqued down and everything. And this side, my helper at the time was torquing it down. And he's a really good guy. He is good at, I found the stud, I'll show it to you. He's good at engine redoing because he does a lot of engines. But the ones he likes are Chevy big blocks. And so he was putting the heads on. I had a customer here that was talking to me, blah, 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 blah. So I was letting him torque these things down. And next thing I know, he's coming to me, Ken, this thing broke off. And it didn't just break off. It snapped off all the way up inside there. And I don't know, it kind of put me in like a little bit of a depression because I kind of knew that it was because he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. And he just over-torqued it and broke it off. Like I said, the motor itself was low miles. I felt bad. We did get it resolved for the customer. Sadly, that customer now, I talked to his wife a little while ago. She had called me because he had passed away. She was trying to sell his van. I can't remember if I helped her sell it. It's possible. So anyways, this motor's been sitting here for like 15 years probably since, so I could stop being sad about it. And I finally decided, you know what? The bottom end on this thing is great. Pistons and cylinders, fine. The only issue we were having is these head studs. I'm going to get it stripped down to the rods, and I'm going to take it to my friend who's a machine shop guy, have him fix this, drill out this one stud, remove all the other studs, and put all new ones in. I have a kit for that. And then I can put it back together and get it back on the road because it's got a lot of life left in it. It's probably got 100,000 miles left in it. I mean, these original factory engines, they were great. Okay, they were great. And I've had really good luck doing that. So let me show you what's going on here. Pistons and cylinders. I had to take the one piston out. I'm going to take all of them out. When you take them out, you need to number everything because you want to make sure that they're going back to the original one that they were with originally. Again, since I wasn't having any problems or issues with this motor, besides the head gaskets, and it didn't ever overheat or nothing like that, I'm just going to reuse these original factory pistons and cylinders. There's no real reason not to. So on the bottom of this cylinder, you can see this black O-ring, so I'm trying to show you right here, but it's kind of close to the camera. So, and you know, people ask me all the time about these. Ken, should I replace it? Should I leave it alone? My vote is, if you're not pulling the cylinders off, which normally when you're doing head gaskets you're not, is to just leave it be. I mean, here's an original one that is from 1987. This van was an 87, I remember that. And when we did the head gaskets, we did not do it. We did not mess with it. We left it be. And you can look at it. It looks pretty much like new. Okay? It looks pretty much. This one on the top, the green one, we actually replaced that. That actually is new. The bottom one we did not replace. And it's still like new. So, you know, that's my opinion. I've seen people try to do it. The problems I have with people doing it is how do you do it? Okay, so say you want to do it on this one right here. Okay, how are you going to do it? You pull this out, somehow get to the other one, you kind of cut it or something to get it out of there. Then you got to like stretch it around the outside of this rusty cylinder and kind of like push it along that till you get to the back here. You're basically stretching it, and then you got to push it, make sure it gets in here, behind here, all that stupid stuff. It's just, you're asking for a disaster to go through all that, and now you hope and pray that there's no bits of the old one still in this thing where you can't see anything. My advice is just leave it alone. Okay, I've been doing these for 25 years. Never had an issue leaving it be. People always call me about it. Oh, Ken, you said in your video that 25 years you never had a problem doing it, but what do you think? I'm telling you what I think. Don't mess with it. And if you call me about it after watching this video, just understand that I'm giving you a dirty look, even though you're not seeing it because you're on the phone. You're getting a dirty look because you're asking me the exact question that I'm answering right now. Okay, I had another motor just recently that we were messing with that somebody took some black glue and put under there and smeared it all around. What good is that? That ain't doing anything. You don't know that black glue could get up inside this motor somewhere in one of the holes where the oil goes through, oil passages, and plug that up. What did that just do? Right? Just stinking. Leave it alone. Leave stuff alone. Why you gotta mess with stuff? Now, if you're pulling the stuff apart, so this is gonna get, every piston is coming out, every cylinder liner's coming out. It kind of sucks. I don't recommend doing that if you're doing heads, because sometimes it can be a real pain in the butt. But that's the way it has to be with replacing these studs. I'm going to rip it all apart and do that. If you're doing that, then replace the O-rings. Fine. If you're not doing that, just leave stuff alone and put the head gaskets on and enjoy your life. Okay? Because, you know, my one friend always says, don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. That's kind of where you're at. I mean, you're expecting perfection out of a waterboxer engine. You should lower your expectations. Okay, that's all I got to say. So that's what's happening with this engine. I'm going to keep you up to date. I'm going to rip it apart, strip all the stuff off. I'll probably take another video of that afterwards, or I might even do it while I'm doing it, just so you can see how I strip motors apart. I don't know. And, you know, please like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next video.